The white coat for me has taken on a meaning that as much I read everything. I'm on every PCOM task force that deals with the COVID issues at hand. My wife and I, we followed the guidance. We separated from our adult children, and we didn't see them for periods of time. I worked from home. We had no in-person contact with our friends or neighbors. We closed my wife's personal business for months and months to ensure the health and safety of her team members and our family. I'm a relatively healthy man at the young age of, but nevertheless, as we know, COVID seeks and it finds opportunities to spread. So after a weekend of 104-degree fever and unrelenting cough, my next-door neighbor, an orthopedic surgeon, called and instructed me to come to his office for a chest x-ray. Reluctantly, I went in. At about 4 o'clock that afternoon, a knock on my back door, and there he was. Paul, I should say Dr. Herzworm, was at my back door in his scrubs, having finished his surgeries for the day, but he was also wearing his long white coat. He had finished surgery and had gone by his office and read my x-rays and came over personally and said very simply, "Brian, your lower lungs show significant COVID particulates, COVID pneumonia. I've made arrangements for you to show up in the ED within the hour by 5 o'clock. You need a treatment and you need therapies." And I said, "Oh, Paul, no, I'm good. I'm just going to stay home and I'm going to watch what goes on here and I'm going to just take these over-the-counter meds. I'm going to be fine." He said, and I will tell you that right before my eyes, he transformed. He transformed from a neighbor into that physician wearing that white coat. And he said in his demeanor, in his stance and in his tone, and with confidence, he delivered the message that said, "Brian, you don't understand. If you don't go in now, you will die." Well, during what became to be my 16 days as a COVID inpatient in the hospital, I saw many, many health care practitioners, most of them wearing white coats of their professions. I can't begin to tell you how much my personal regard for those in the white coat grew. Their professionalism in every way, their ability to effectively address difficult topics about treatments and possible outcomes with a sometimes reticent patient who was there by hospital policy, there totally by himself, by myself, unaccompanied and lonely. Their ability to speak with confidence when they were certain of the pathways ahead, and to speak with vulnerability and honesty when there was uncertainty about what to do next was relevant and prescient. In fact, my lead pulmonologist, who had been in the hospital taking care of COVID patients for 324 days straight without a break, said, "Brian, we have done all that we know to do for you. If your markers don't change in the next 12 to 24 hours, we're going to have to put you on a respirator, and you, Brian, are aware of the challenges of getting patients off of a vent." And as she said this, standing there in her beautifully white, starched, pressed white coat, her light blue surgical mask became a little bit stained darker from her tears. In that position, in her wearing her white coat, symbolizing knowledge, confidence, high competence, I, as a patient, saw humanity, a respect and love of her patients that would not let her do anything but give the unvarnished facts in a manner that ultimately belied humanity. I was scared by her candor, but I was touched, I was impressed by her humanity. Ultimately, through the prayers of so many and God's good grace, Dr. Varsha Kilcarney's excellent care and the care of so many others wearing the white coats of their professions, I am privileged now to be here today and blessed to be here today to ask for God's blessings on you, the class of 2025, as you, wearing your white coats, will perhaps serve as the manifestation of humanity to your patients in the days to come. Yes, I do see the white coat a bit differently this year. So friends, as you are able, would you please rise for our invocation, and afterward please remain standing as our student doctors, Hume, student Dr. Willis, and student Dr. Ravula will come forward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and bow with me, will you? Oh God, what an exceptional day this is in the life of PCOM Georgia and our college as these osteopathic medical students are officially presented with their new white coats, a symbol of authority and professionalism, understood by patients as enveloping one with intellect and knowledge and serving as a reminder of compassion and care. May these students wear these white coats with honor and integrity, demonstrating empathy and true concern for the welfare of their patients with whom they interact and serve. May our PCOM faculty and staff continue to give of their knowledge and experiences and insights as we strive to prepare these students for the life-changing impact they will most certainly make in the days ahead as they wear these new white coats. May these family members present who have sacrificed greatly through encouraging educational attainment beam with pride and feelings of significant accomplishment as they witness the donning of the white coats and as they continue to support their loved ones in the days to come. Lord, watch over all first responders who are there for each of us every single day. Cover each member of our military at home and abroad with your protective care and hold in the palm of your hand all members of the medical teams across this expansive globe who are on the front lines in serving others. These students, recognized today, will one day serve as those frontline caregivers. May they serve with humanity. We seek your blessings on each of them this day and forevermore. Amen. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Ginn, and thank you, student doctors, Yum, Willis, Ravula, and our military scholars. Each of you who honor these future physicians with your attendance this afternoon is very special to us, and we thank you for being here. I would like to extend greetings on behalf of the PCOM leadership who were unable to be here today. Specifically, President and CEO, Dr. Jay Feldstein, who has prepared a video welcome, Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Kenneth Veit, members of the Cabinet, and our esteemed faculty and staff. While they could not be here today, they wish to congratulate you on your efforts thus far. At this time, you may please be seated, and I ask you to direct your attention to the monitors on either side of the stage for a video presentation from Dr. Feldstein.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to welcome you to the college's annual White Coat Ceremony. This symbolic event is a rite of passage. Donning your white coat signifies your official journey into the osteopathic medical profession. For the physician, the white coat is synonymous with the virtues of altruism, responsibility, and compassion. It reminds physicians of their duty to lead their lives and practice their art with humanism and professionalism. Wearing your white coat comes with a sense of hope. You are the future of medicine. Your purpose must always be to care for your patients, to treat them in the holistic manner that will be the heart of your education. Congratulations, class of 2025. I know I speak on behalf of all at PCOM when I applaud your commitment to excellence in the osteopathic medical profession.
I would like you to meet the chair of the class of 2025, student Dr. Madison Cohen. Madison came from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and earned a Bachelor of Science in Biology with a minor in neuroscience and chemistry from the University of North Carolina. Madison was also a biomedical student who graduated last year from PCOM Georgia. She studied under Dr. Liu and wrote her thesis on cerebellar function. Please welcome Madison to the podium to make remarks on behalf of the class.
Hi, everyone. So, as you now know, my name is Madison Cohen, and I'm up here today because I have the privilege of being the class chair for the class of 2025. Before I get too far into this, I want to take a moment to congratulate all of you former pre-med students who are here today. I don't know about you, but taking pre-med student off of my resume felt pretty great. Or maybe you weren't pre-med and you took a different route to get here. Whatever path you were on, you're here now, pursuing the career that you have been called to. It doesn't matter if you knew you wanted to be a doctor your whole life or if you decided 5 minutes before you scheduled your MCAT. And that's one of the great things about medicine. No matter how we got here, we are all here for the same reason, because we want to help other people. Which reminds me, I want to talk about the people who have helped us reach this point. I know we all did a lot of work in order to be here today, but I know I personally would not be here without the help I received from my support systems. So I want to take a moment to thank my fiance, Bob, my family, and my mentor, Dr. Lou, for their continuous support and encouragement. I also want to thank all of the families, friends, mentors, teachers, professors, and everybody in between that helped all of us get to this point. I hope you all take the time to thank the people who supported you. I know they're proud of you, and so am I. Now I want all of you to take a moment to think about where you were a year ago, whether that was in a hospital scribing or in a class at your undergrad, or sheltering in place to help slow the spread of COVID. Whether you just killed your MCAT or you weren't sure if you were going to get accepted. No matter where you were then, you're here now. While this white coat ceremony marks the beginning of our med school journey, it also stands as a symbol of all the work that you have done to get to this point. Because getting here was no small feat. You're here not because you wanted a job. There are plenty of easier ways to get a job. You're here because you wanted to make a difference. You're here because you wanted to commit your life to helping other people. And this white coat is a symbol of the commitment that you have made. I probably don't need to tell you what the white coat represents, because you've all experienced it yourself. Whether you worked at a clinic, took your parents or siblings to a doctor's appointment, or went to one yourself, you watched as the person in the white coat in front of you offered you their undivided attention, compassion, empathy, and assurance. You watched them make a commitment to you that they were going to do everything they could to make you feel better. And here you are today, making that same commitment to your future patients. While today is a day to feel happy and proud of all the things that we've accomplished, it's also a day to look to the future, eager for the knowledge and experiences that are to come. Med school is really hard, and I don't think that any of us came into this with the expectation that it would be easy. But I also didn't expect that I would learn 82 different bacteria within my first 2 months. And yes, I counted. But no matter how hard it gets, we should remember why we chose to be here. We chose to be here because we know that doing this will help other people. And that's the real reason that people go into medicine, a selfless desire to help others. Because choosing to be a doctor isn't just choosing a career, it's a way of life. It's knowing that waking up every day and going to work is helping make people's lives better, which is why we wake up every morning, drink the Monster, go to lecture, learn all these bacteria, rinse and repeat. I know that sometimes we might feel like all we do is study, and Dr. Lou would say that means we're doing it right. But we do it because we know that the opportunity to be a doctor for the rest of our lives far exceeds any challenges that we may experience during these 4 years. The white coat you have today is clean, unstained, and maybe even a little stiff and uncomfortable. But in time, the coat will become worn, pun intended. And while this is a white coat ceremony, it's not really about the coat. It's about the person wearing the coat. And I know I am so excited to see where all of these people wearing these white coats will end up. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. That was awesome. So each year when deciding on a white coat ceremony speaker, we make every opportunity to identify an individual whose presence might resonate with the class. This year, we are honored to have with us Dr. Ugo Batuzzi, a 2014 PCOM Georgia graduate. During his tenure at PCOM Georgia, Dr. Batuzzi served as the president of Student Government Association, earned the Dean's Award, and graduated with honors. Dr. Batuzzi completed his residency in physical medicine and rehabilitation at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical School and practices at the Atlanta Rehabilitation Consultants. We are delighted to have him with us today. Dr. Batuzzi?
Good to see so many smiles on these faces. Tough crowd. It's because you're medical students. You think I was the mask? Tougher crowd. I know you guys are frustrated, you're tired, you're probably salty about a penny question. Should have taken the question back on the test, you argued, but they didn't give it to you. That was an argument we often had. I heard your syllabus changed. I had a lot of anatomy jokes, but they all fell flat because you haven't done it yet, so we'll move forward. So the theme of today is what this white coat means. I think it's a great theme. I'm going to offer a little bit of a different perspective. Mr. Ginn had a great perspective from a patient view, but I'm going to give you a different viewpoint, something that you should take to heart as student doctors, and I'm speaking only to you. This will not make sense for everyone else around you. Your white coat is not a sign of intelligence or knowledge. There are far smarter people out there, and I learned that through my time. It's not a status, it doesn't grant you any power, and it certainly doesn't mean you're a hero. It's a little frustrating, and I'll explain why. Actually, the very thought that your white coat demands a condition from your community is misplaced. What your white coat should serve is as a symbol for you to look upon and recognize that you need to look internally and cultivate your integrity. With all the noise out there today, all the information and everything running around, we need that anchor because we can get swept up in it. We need that anchor to bring us to look inside ourselves and recognize our faults and failures, acknowledge them, and fix them. White coat does not make us a hero. We are human, and we need to practice humility. With humility, you will start understanding that we act as a group. We bring all our knowledge together in a huge wealth given to us from generations past so we can give it forward. This can only be done by a collective, honorable group. So let that white coat be your anchor, a reminder to look inside and cultivate your integrity. Condition your id to bring your best self forward. When you master yourself, soon you may not even need that white coat. What Mr. Ginn felt in the hospital was not the white coat. It was the physician under it who had obviously practiced. Trust and respect from your community will come once you've mastered yourself. Now to lighten up the mood, I am a young doctor. I graduated in this hall not too long ago. So I'm going to give you some high yields moving forward in your not too distant future. Learn how to learn, and then ignore everyone else. Stay away from Student Doctor Network. I don't know if that still exists, but don't open it. Make friends. You will need them. You will rely on them. My best friends today are from my class. Learn to take power naps. And learn to take them quickly. If you need any education, there's a couple of people in the back that are already practicing. As my class chair told me when I was having a bad day, do not worry, you're so smart, one day you will become a doctor. Congratulations, class of 2025.
So much good advice, right? Thank you so much, Dr. Batuzzi. Class of 2025, this is my first white coat ceremony as your dean, and I'm honored to share my thoughts because we've heard lots of thoughts so far on the meaning of the white coat. The white coat is a traditional, iconic symbol of a physician. It, along with our stethoscope and also iconic black bag, is our uniform. The white coat is what doctors wear to signify our profession. It is white as a symbol of purity and hygiene. It is practical as it displays our name neatly embroidered on our chest. It has pockets to store your papers, if anybody carries papers anymore, pens, phones, and most importantly, your snacks when you don't have a minute to grab a meal. When staff, colleagues, and patients see you in a white coat, they see a physician. Simply put, a physician is a person who is qualified to practice medicine. Obviously, you are all here to attain the qualifications that make you a physician. You will receive and retain knowledge of science and medicine. You will learn how to assimilate and apply the facts you gather in the classroom and on the wards to treat your patients. We will teach you hands-on skills like correctly using a stethoscope, inserting an IV catheter, putting on sterile gloves, suturing, delivering a baby, performing osteopathic manipulative medicine, and the list just goes on and on. But just as important as the knowledge and hands-on clinical skills are the humanism and empathy that will truly distinguish you as a great physician. The white coat is our physician uniform. However, it is the white coat that's just merely an article of clothing, as you have already heard. It is what is on the inside that truly counts. The doctor on the inside of the coat that really matters. I'm a pediatrician. People always say to me, I don't know how you do it. I love kids, but how do you deal with the parents? Honestly, I approach parents as I would any other family member sitting at the bedside of their loved one. I walk a mile in their shoes. Our job is to heal. As osteopathic physicians, we are often credited with practicing holistic medicine. It is our duty to look at and care about all aspects of our patients' lives. If I may, I would like to share 5 simple tips that I hope will help you, the person inside the white coat, be the best physician you can be. Number 1, listen. Really listen. Your patient will tell you the diagnosis more than 95% of the time. Also, if you really listen, you will hear how the diagnosis affects the patients at home, at school, at work, and emotionally. Sound familiar, guys? Yeah. Be kind and compassionate. Everyone has their own tragedy. Our jobs can become mundane at times, but to each person, their concern matters. And they are sitting in your office for you to care for them. Care not only by practicing good medicine, but also by demonstrating kindness and compassion. Number 3, be humble and authentic. Some view the white coat as a badge of authority. And yes, you wear this white coat because you have accomplished training to be a physician. However, remember to be humble and guide your patients. Share your knowledge and expertise, but listen to your patients' perspectives and potential barriers. When you make mistakes, admit that you did. It's really okay. It happens to all of us. Believe me, I've made plenty of errors, and for sure I will make more. We cannot be perfect all of the time. And the last little bit of advice on that one is when you first step foot on the wards, befriend the staff and nurses. They will be your best teachers and your greatest allies. Number 4, be present and love what you do. Being a physician is really the best job. Take a minute to stop and smell the roses. Enjoy the privilege of sharing your patients' life journeys. It is an incredible honor to guide patients to wellness, treat their ailments, be there when their babies are born, and witness their last breaths. And number 5, keep your cup full. On the airplane, the flight attendants always say, put on your oxygen mask before assisting others. Eat right, exercise, sleep, enjoy your time with family and friends, take a break, and laugh. Debrief the hard days. Recharge yourself. Being a physician is not always easy, but is without a doubt worth it. Self-care is not only important, but it's actually essential. Today, we present you all as new medical students with your white coats to indoctrinate you into the profession. With this coat, you are accepting a tremendous responsibility. We believe in you. We are confident in your abilities. We know that you will do amazing things. We are certain you will practice high-quality, evidence-based medicine and display humanism. When you wear your white coat, there is an expectation that you will accept all the rights and responsibilities that accompany this iconic symbol of our profession. Lastly, always remember, it is what is on the inside of the white coat that truly counts. It is now time for the members of the class of 2025, finally, to receive their white coats. Dr. Freed, Dr. Habal, and Dr. Penny, please come forward to assist our students. Staff photographers will take photos of the students. We ask that you remain in your seats as we make every effort to abide by the guidelines that will keep our campus community safe.
And now, the presentation of white coat. Class of 2025, I will call you in groups of 3 to the podium to be quoted. So let's begin. Amy Yam, Emily Willis, Ordain Ravula, Daria Hussain, Fariha Akhtar, Mariam Ali, Hadaya Al-Khatib, Ryan Amadovar, Devesh Amin, Hasibullah Amir, Timur Aslam, Quinn Astrakhan, Anthony Baffy, Hamza Beg, Francois Barrett, Michelle Belizaire, Anne Catherine Bellacora, Bethlehem Berta, Michael Bean, Charles Bisong, Jessica Blakely, Samuel Vargas, Sean Canny, Savion Carswell, Nathaniel Clem, Madison Cohen, Vikas Damineni, Abraham Damas, Sagar Darira, Sanjana Das, Shrishti Das, Abhishek Desai, Marji Desai, Kevin Din, Catherine Doe, Daniel Doliniski, Kira Doyle, Nina Idupuganti, Baby Ike, Orion Esfandiari, Elizabeth Everbush, Bilal Faruqi, Seher Fatima, Christopher Fay, Enzo Ferrara, Kate Fiddler, Angad Gill, Roberto Gonzalez Batie, Courtney Green, Eli Gruber, Cameron Harper, Jessica Hiscox, Amanda Ho, Kimberly Hong, Sierra Hudson, Elijah Humphreys, Min Win, Samuel Igadoro, Ashley Ilderton, Harsha Iyer, Sasha Jacobs, Malachi Jordan, Christy Kang, Yuhan Kang, Mitchell Khar, Sachin Kasibatla, Sama Khan, Daniel Kim, Hannah Cruz, Daniel Lee, Matthew Lee, Zachary Lee, Hannah Kim, Sean Lester, Yudi Liu, Sarita Mangonas, Nicholas Massa, John Matichak, Derika Makala, Lauren McClelland, Shireen Muhammad, Ishwar Mohan, Daniel Morian, Brandy Muldrow, Itana Murawski, Daniel Mayara, Jessica Mayara, Bilal Naeem, Muhammad Nefzi, McKenna Nicholas, Joy Nish, Olalekan Oloriyami, Gabriel Okendo, Gerig Ornelas, Shivani Palanivel, Vishal Panchigar, Pooja Parikh, Milin Patel, Priyanka Patel, Roshni Patel, Ritvik Pisapati, Nicole Peretz, Tuan Pham, Catherine Pugh, Muhammad Rajabalia Romi, Shubhra Rajpurohit, Indrani Ramsarup, Emily Rain, Kirsten Reynolds, Samara Rivers, Nicholas Robinson, Julian Ryland, Katie Santos, Wesley Schweiger, Muhammad Siddiq, Megha Singh, Shivani Singh, Sham Sohani, Charles Sponiman, Sarah Thomas, Veronica Thompson, Janice Tong, Iliana Treto, Anum Ulhaq, Christopher Vance, Hunter Vasquez, Brian Vickers, George Walker, Kevin Wong, Philippa Wong, Mohammad Webi, Neja Wise, Mason Wolf, Sarah Yoon, Mehak Zainab, Now let's recognize the class of 2025.
At this time, the class of 2025 will recite its mission statement. It's important to recognize that this is the first year all three of our PCOM campuses have collaborated to develop a cohesive mission statement that is consistent with the PCOM 1 curriculum. You guys ready? Let's do it. Ready? Come on, I'm not the only one. Okay. As osteopathic physicians with access to the latest advancement in medicine and education, we are resolute in the ethical and conscientious use of technology. We will remain fearless in our pursuit of innovation, integrating novel ideas, cutting-edge research, and our class vision to understand the maladies of today and to cure the diseases of tomorrow. We are obliged to provide equitable care and solace to all people, regardless of their identity. Therefore, we must harbor respect and inclusivity, recognizing that we garner more strength together than alone. We acknowledge that the work we put in today will better serve our future patients, who remain at the heart of our practice. The class of 2025 hopes to lead by example, with compassionate care, and aspires to grow within this PCOM community by developing lifelong relationships with our mentors and colleagues. Good job. Class of 2025, you've already become an integral part of the PCOM Georgia family. I offer you congratulations on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the President, the Provost, the faculty, the distinguished guests, family members, and friends. We expect outstanding things from each and every one of you. I ask now that student Dr. Daria Hossein, class of 2025, come forward and sing her rendition of Rise Up by Adora Day. This song is particularly meaningful as we reflect on the professional journey of these physicians in training. Wow. My goodness. Whew. That was awesome. All right. Thank you, student Dr. Hossein. And finally, please join me in applauding the newest members of the osteopathic profession. Thank you, everyone, for sharing this important event with us. This concludes our formal ceremony. Family and friends, please remain seated until the faculty and students have completed the recessional. At this time, we will have the students gather for a group picture outside, and we ask that the families please stand back and allow the photographer to take the class photo without disruption. Good job, you guys.